Hi everyone, my name is Sarah and I'm the English teacher at the School for the Deaf and Blind right now. I'm teaching both the blind and the deaf at the same time and do not sign. So it's been interesting. I do communication and outreach coordination for the Spartanburg County Association of Educators. We are the local affiliate of the South Carolina Education Association. We are the oldest professional association of our kind, composed of public school staff, our educators, as we call ourselves, and take pride in advocating for our profession and public education. This includes educators in the classroom and education support professionals who play a vital role in keeping our schools running and our students safe, healthy, and ready to learn every day. This includes cafeteria workers, school nurses, bus drivers, clerks who check attendance and other administrative duties, school resource officers or other security services, janitorial sanitation workers, and more. It takes a village, right? A significant part of our work involves discussions and decisions made by our school board trustees that directly impact our work and, most importantly, the children we serve. Did you know that 85% of K-12 students in the county attend a public school? That's a high number. And the decisions made by our school board members are crucial for shaping their futures. At SCAE and the SCEA, we emphasize the importance of maintaining an engaging and collaborative relationship with all 7 of our school boards, as well as families and community, which is why we're facilitating these nonpartisan, fair, and impartial gatherings for educators and the community to meet and get to know the work that trustees do that profoundly influence what we do and the future of our county. If you'd like to learn more about who we are and what we do as an association, we've got some handouts in the back, and afterwards we'd be welcome to answer any questions. Which is why if you'd like to learn more about, if you're an employee with any of the 7 school districts, I encourage you to speak with me afterwards or someone from the SCEA and consider joining us. Our collective strength in advocating for our profession is our greatest asset. So I invite you to get involved and stay engaged with what's happening in public education in this district, our county, and across the state. Without further ado, let me introduce our moderator for the day, Dr. Charmaine Brown. Dr. Brown is an award-winning journalist and former reporter for WSPA News, Channel 7, and the only news television station that's based here in Spartanburg County. With nearly 30 years of experience in the media, she has served as a reporter, producer, managing editor, and anchor in markets across Florida, South Carolina, and Virginia. In 2018, she moved to Roanoke from Spartanburg to join Fox news affiliate WFXR as the morning news anchor for Good Day, Virginia. And now a professor of practice in multimedia journalism and entrepreneurship at Virginia Tech Public Land Grant Research University. She teaches in both the School of Communication and the College of Business. Outside the classroom, she is a published children's book author and entrepreneur and founder of Slants, Multimedia Professional Corporation, which supports small businesses and nonprofits. The marketing and public relations agency is based here in Spartanburg, South Carolina. Dr. Brown is a proud South Carolina native. She holds degrees from the College of Charleston, Nova Southeastern University, and Clemson University. She is active in her community, serves on multiple boards. She is the proud mother of 3 sons and a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. So everyone, let's welcome Dr. Brown.
Good afternoon, thank you all for being here, and thank you for the introduction, Sarah. Again, I am Dr. Charmaine Brown, honored to serve as your moderator today for the first of 7 school board candidate forums here in Spartanburg County. As Sarah mentioned, this forum is brought to you by the Spartanburg County Association of Educators and the South Carolina Education Association, with support from the League of Women Voters of Spartanburg County, which has come together to host this nonpartisan civic forum. Educators, students, families, and the residents of District 1 can meet those hoping to be elected as trustees in the upcoming election. District 1 mainly includes municipalities such as Campobello, Inman, and Landrum, along with some other census-designated and unincorporated communities like Campton, Grambling, Holly Springs, Inman Mills, Little Chicago, and New Prospect. The Spartanburg County Association of Educators extended this invitation to all 7 candidates who have been approved to appear on the ballot on November 4th, which is the Tuesday here, 2025. 5 of these candidates will be elected to serve in the district's at-large school board seats. Today's participants are as follows. They're here before you today. Elton Chapman, Trey Grambling, David Green, Brad Johnson, Mark Rollins, who currently serves as the trustee for District 1 schools. The association's draft for today's format and the campaign has been approved. All of these rules have been approved by the association. The candidates will be asked a series of the same questions submitted by educators as well as those in the public. The candidates will have 2 minutes to speak and answer the question, and potentially 1 minute to follow up on a question if I deem it necessary. After we complete those questions, time permitting, we will open the floor for public comments and questions from those of you in the audience. If time does not permit, we encourage you and the candidates to stick around for a bit before the library asks us to leave to get your questions answered. Directly beside me and in front of you, the candidates here, we have our timekeeper as well. Raise your hand, timekeeper, please. Our timekeeper here from the League of Women Voters, Spartanburg County, who has color-coded cards during this forum for timing. Your green card means you will start. Your yellow card means 30 seconds remain. The red card means stop. Once the red card is up, I will need to interrupt you as the candidate and allow you to finish your sentence so we can stay on track. I want to make sure everybody can see the cards, correct? Okay, green, start. Yellow, you have 30 seconds. Red, kind of wrap up your response. I also want to recognize the Woodruff Times here today, live streaming the conversation that will take place. So thank you for documenting us today. And after I read the question in its entirety, that is when the candidate's 2-minute time limit response begins. And to keep this efficient, after the first candidate speaks, the candidate who is to the left of the candidate that's speaking, so we're going this way, will go next, okay? And I'll try to call your names as we go along. After everyone goes, I'll select the next candidate to go first and repeat that process. By entering this room, you, the audience, also, there's a responsibility. The audience has agreed to the nonpartisan nature of this event. This includes no cheering or shouting. Again, no cheering or shouting will be allowed. We appreciate you respectfully and refraining from excessive exuberance for or against a particular candidate. We're here to focus and become better informed on what the candidates have to say. We want to make sure that we give them the respect and allow them to say what they want to say. However, with all of this being said, we do invite you to applause at this moment as we cordially welcome our candidates. Our staff, volunteers that all made this possible, and we also want to thank you. A round of applause for you, the audience, for being here today. Candidates, now we look forward to hearing your policies, your vision to create a student-centered education right here in District 1. And we do have a lot to cover, and we have a limited amount of time to do so, so let's jump in and get started. Everybody comfortable? Everybody's okay? Okay. Got enough water? Okay. All right. Again, this is the first set of questions. They come from the members of the Local Educators Association as well as the greater community within District 1. I will begin by picking a name from this mug, the mug here, provided by Griggs, Delane, and the Pearson Foundation. First, a little statistic. Do you know that here in South Carolina, pioneers and plaintiffs of the Briggs versus Elliott were the first of the 5 cases combined into the landmark 1954 Brown versus Board of Education ruling that challenged the constitutionality of segregation in education that began in 1947. Additionally, as it pertains to that Briggs case, members of the South Carolina Education Association's predecessor, known as the Palmetto Education Association, provided support and resources for it, which goes to show the significance and the courage of educators who are deeply tied to the SCEA and the fierce advocates that this association has been recognizing, regarding, and championing access to quality public education for everyone since 1881. Okay, so we're going to begin. I'm just going to shake the cup up a little bit. I'm going to dig in here, and our first candidate question goes to, try again. You guys are sitting with bated breath, right?
That's a trick.
I don't know. I didn't put these in here. David Green. Okay, so David Green. The first question, what motivated you to decide to run for this school board seat?
What motivated me, several years ago, I was having a discussion with my daughter who used to be an educator, and she said, you should run for the school board. And I said, why? And she said, well, you have good common sense, you have good judgment, you would be a good fit for the board. So I did a lot of praying, a lot of asking the Lord if that was the right thing. And he convicted me to the point that I needed to go sign up and register. So that's what I did.
Okay. Okay.
You're not going to need a red card from me.
We're going to proceed to the left of you. Mr. Brad Johnson, what motivated your desire to run for school board?
I had talked about this for several years with my wife, and we kind of talked about, like, you know, when the time's right and when, you know, things slow down, and you know, as you figure out as you get older, things don't really slow down. There's always something to do. And my wife passed away about 4 years ago, and I still wanted to give back, still wanted to do something with the community. And one of the other gentlemen who's running for school board, he had called me and he said, you know, you should run. You're an educator. This is something you should be doing. You know education. And so thought on it for quite a while, and just feel like I want to give back to the community that's done so much for my family and for me. So I want to give back.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Mr. Mark Rollins, what motivated your desire to run for school board?
This is not my first time to run, but it's been the same every time I have run. My wife, my daughters, and I are all products of District 1. And it was, Mr. Johnson said, I was looking for a way to give back. I wanted to show my support for District 1 and my appreciation. So I tried it.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Rollins. Now to the other end of the table, Mr. Elton Chapman. What motivated your desire to run for school board?
Mine is kind of like what Mark said at the other end down there. Is myself, my wife, my kid, all of us are products of Spartanburg School District 1. And it's something that I had thought about for a while. And then when I saw that they were looking to do the $140 million referendum for the new schools, I thought this is a good time to jump in, because in my job, I get to go around and see a lot of the schools and see some of what needs to be done or what I think needs to be done. And I thought this might be a good time to put my foot in and see if I can help out.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chapman. And last but not least, Mr. Trey Raymond.
Like a couple of these other fellas, I'm a product of District 1. Grew up here, went all the way through school in District 1. My mom taught kindergarten in District 1. My dad was on the school board. I have 2 children at Campbell Grambling, 2nd grade and kindergarten. So I've got skin in the game. If there's any way that I can give back to help my kids and everybody else's kids have the same life that I had through District 1 schools, then that's what I want to do.
Thank you, Mr. Trey Bramley. Now we're going to move on to question 2. I will read it and then I will pick from the mug. How would you recommend our district address the issues of recruitment and retention for classified and certified educators? The second question, we will start with Mr. Brad Johnson.
Recruitment retention, it is so key in education. But I, as an educator, being in the classroom, this is my 20th year teaching, and I've been around education with my wife teaching for 30 years. And she taught in District 1 for 20 years before she passed. I think the big thing we got to do is recognize good work, recognize good teachers, and word of mouth. When you can create that environment of rewarding and recognizing what good educators do and the impacts they make on lives, people will want to come. They will want to come because it's already a great district, and I think that we got to keep that going.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Same question, Mr. Rollins.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I happen to know that District 1 has a very aggressive recruitment drive, and like Mr. Johnson said, we've got a good story to tell, and when we bring folks in, it's a matter of mentoring and having other experienced educators or work with them and help them along. We want to make them feel comfortable. We want them to love the district as much as we do. And it really goes a long way if we bring somebody in from out of town, if we can keep them long enough for them to find a spouse from the hometown area. It goes a long way.
Thank you,
The main thing is that we work to try to keep the pay competitive. We want them to feel appreciated. We want them to know how much we appreciate them and how much we can support them.
Thank you, Mr. Rollins. Thank you. Mr. Elton Chapman.
And mine will be short and sweet, and it's sort of what Mark just touched on. I think that the funding needs to be prioritized because, believe it or not, everybody, that's what they do for a living. They work to get paid. So I think that we need to make sure that the educators are funded and we can get them in. And as long as we can show them the love, like he said, then we can keep them. But the funding, to me, is a big deal.
Last, Mr. Bramley.
I think it starts with good leadership. I think if you have good leadership, then you're going to have good recruitment. A good leader leads by example, which then everyone else tries to follow and mimic. And when you have a good leader, they're also a good listener, and they listen to their teachers and they listen to their staff. And I think that's the most important. And if you do that and you show the respect to the teachers that are in the classrooms every day with countless amount of children, and you show them the respect that they deserve, that word's going to travel fast. And District 1's already a very good district, but at the same time, we can always get better. And with good leadership, we'll have good teachers, and teachers will recruit teachers. And it'll compound among itself.
Yeah, just listening to these gentlemen talk, I'm not an educator really affiliated with the schools as much as some of them, but it's like Mr. Brown said, leadership. I think District 1 is a great community. I don't know, I've raised 4 kids in this community through these schools. I don't know how much turnover we have, but we have some great educators, great administrators, and the people that I know that want to be an educator, they want to come to work at District 1. So I think there's a lot of value in what District 1 has. We have a close-knit community. So how to retain them is money, giving them the tools they need to teach the kids. That's would be some part of this board's opportunity or job. So I want to do all I could to encourage them.
Okay. Okay, so for question 3, the first candidate to go on this one Trey Brownlee. The question: what are your thoughts about the removal of books from school libraries at the elementary, middle, and high school levels?
As far as I know, the state has already made a ruling on that. So we have to follow what the state's decided.
Okay, Mr. Brownlee, thank you. Next, Mr. Brown.
Well, I'm not clear as what the state has said we do. I know we have to follow the rules. The books, the material we have should be relevant to what the teachers and the curriculum is. You can get a lot of stuff that could be considered out of bounds, so we need to keep it relevant to what our community is trying to do and what our school teachers are trying to do.
Mr. Green, thank you. Next, Mr. Johnson.
I would say within what's already established as law, protecting freedom of speech, having books that are on grade level that kids can read and get access to, and allow parents to parent and do what's best for their child.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Mr. Rollins.
Yes, ma'am. Well, excuse me. We actually had that happen in District 1, and I supported the books being removed prior to the law being passed. I appreciate the legislature supporting the position, but we just felt the material needed to be age appropriate. We weren't banning any books. We saw no point. We issue electronic devices to each student, and there's some strict guidelines for the use of that device. I apologize. And there's some stiff consequences if they stray beyond the guidelines. So it just didn't seem consistent to be so restricted with their electronic device and have material on the bookshelf in the library that could cause problems if they were reading it online on the machine. So we felt consistency mattered, and like I said, it was just basically a look at age appropriateness. So,
Thank you, Mr. Rollins. Mr. Chapman.
I think that the parents should be the ones to govern what their kids look at and what they read. It's up to them. some of the books that have been put out that they say needs to be banned, some of it is for AP courses, and if a student is not getting it at the school, then they have to come to the library or they have to find it somewhere else. It's not like you have pornography there on the shelves for the school and for the kids, and the books that are in the questionable area, they're being checked out, once every several months, if that. I think that we need to let the teachers do the teaching and let the parents do the parenting.
Mr. Chancellor, thank you. We do want to provide the audience and the candidates with a little context behind this particular question. So to provide you with some context, South Carolina now leads the nation with the most banned books at 22. This is largely in part due to one of Beaufort County parents in the Low Country who previously sought to remove 97 books at the district level and didn't like the outcome. So this went all the way to the State Board of Education, expressed in Regulations 43-170, which was effective pursuant to the South Carolina Administrative Procedures Act on July 26, 2024, to question instruction materials that depict descriptions viewed as inappropriate for K through 12 students. This has since sparked conversation over whether one individual should have the power to influence reading access for all 90+% of South Carolina's students who attend public schools. Spartanburg District 1, long before this became a national phenomenon, that provided parents and or legal guardians with the option to block their child's access to specific materials within the school library collections. We're going to move on to question 4. Here's the question, and then I'll go into the mug. What do you see as the role of public, private, and charter school education in our state? I'll repeat it one more time. What do you see as the role of public, private, and charter school education in our state? You should be helping with that, Sarah.
I'm watching. I'm doing my
You gotta try again. Try again. Yes, go ahead. Try again. Another try again. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Mr. Elton Chapman.
Try again. and when I say that, on the questionnaire that was sent out to us, that was the one question that I have not, out of all of them, that's the one that I did not even answer at all. And I'll just tell you my thoughts on the charter schools right now. That's one of those personal things and not a school district type thing. And I don't mind sharing this because I also do a lot of radio for Chapman High School for football and that kind of stuff. And there's a big thing in the state with the charter schools and the charter schools being able to play in the same league with the South Carolina high school leagues, but yet they can recruit. And so as far as that is where all of my private and charter thoughts go every single time. So as far as the differences, I think everybody ought to go to public school. If the state is going to fund it as they do with charter schools, then charter schools should be held to the exact same regulation and rules that the South Carolina high schools are.
Okay, Mr. Chapman, thank you. Mr. Bramley?
I'm not super familiar with charter schools, to be honest with you, other than you hear what you hear about the athletic side of it. As far as I care more about the educational side of it than the athletic side. Between public and private, I think that there's both pros and cons to each. I have family members that go to a private school, and it's what's best for her to have a smaller classroom, to be able to get more one-on-one attention with her teacher than she would at Spartan High. So in her case, that's what her mom and dad want to do, and that's their choice to send her somewhere. It's definitely more beneficial for her. Her grades show that. I'm for public education. I grew up in public education. So obviously that's where I lean harder towards, but at the same time, I think it goes back to that's a parent's decision to make as to where they want to send their children.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Mr. Green.
Yeah, can I get you to repeat the question?
Yes,
just
sir,
so I make sure?
absolutely. What do you see as the role of public, private, and charter school education in our state?
Well, I tend to agree with Mr. Gramlin that it is a parent's choice to send their child where they want to and to get them the best education that they think is possible. The charter schools can offer some things that maybe the public schools can't. The private schools can offer that what the public can't. The advantage they have is that they can recruit from wherever. The public schools are, Chapman High School is about inland. It's about a community. So there's more to, in my opinion, there's more to the public schools in what they teach the student, not just reading and writing, but citizenship, community. Friday nights in Landrum and at Chapman, that's big nights. That's community. So I'm like Mr. Gramlin. I'm a public school person. It was good for me. It was good for my children. So, but I can agree with the freedom of choice. So.
Mr. Green, thank you. Mr. Johnson, same question. Do you need to repeat?
No. I'm for public school, absolutely. And I'm probably not too far off from Elton with the whole charter private school kind of issues. I teach middle school. In my 20th year teaching middle school, I'm the athletic director at my middle school, so I see a lot of different things from the classroom to the ball field, whatever you want to call it. But the role of school is to educate children, provide the highest quality education you can, no matter where you're at. I think the charter private schools get away with things that we can't in public school, and it is what it is. But I also see that extracurricular activities, whether it's a theatrical play, it's a baseball game, it's a football game, it's an outreach, it's an educational outreach. And a lot of people lose sight of that. But the whole purpose of anything that's going on a school campus is to try to educate children and to get children on campus so they want to be at school. And that's absolutely our job, no matter if it's on the ball field or in the classroom or at the band concert going on. So again, it's to educate children.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Mr. Rollins.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I agree with the panel, but I feel like it is the parent's choice, whether public, private, or charter. But if we're going to have comparisons of competition, it's got to be apples to apples. Of course, I support public education. There's not a lot of competition for a lot of the kids that come through public schools. There's not a lot of entities competing for them. And so it rests with public schools to carry that purpose and have these kids educated and offer as many opportunities as possible, the extracurricular especially. But my biggest problem with other categories, private or the charter schools, is the funding. They have to stop draining the funds away from public education for those other endeavors. that public education has to be funded through public funds, and that they should remain public funds.
Thank you. Mr. Rollins, thank you. All right, we're now on question number 5. That leaves, who's left of the
I was like, is everybody left? Barbara?
Okay. So, Mr. Rollins, this is our 5th question, leaves you the last person in the cut. Educators often struggle with excessive paperwork and unencumbered time as not being honored, forcing them to complete work at home. How would you address these concerns when educators bring them to your attention?
Yes, ma'am. Well, and you know, it's been that way for hundreds of years. You spend the day collecting the work and half the night correcting the work. I know that's hard on educators. But we all know that our educators didn't choose that field because they wanted to be rich. They want to be appreciated and compensated. But the good thing about the unencumbered time is that now it's become law. It has to be granted. It cannot intentionally be withheld. With that law, they provide that, you know, there could be extenuating circumstances where it don't work out for the day. And how many people have normal days at school? There's going to be issues, but to me, the win is that this is actually a respect for their time, and it is law, and it may be rough for the transition period, but with patience, it's got to get better because there's going to be penalties, there's going to be consequences should it be intentionally withheld. So we've got to make it work. And I'm just promising better days that we get through it, it will work out for their benefit. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rollins. Mr. Chapman?
When I was in school, the teachers gave us homework. Why didn't they get it? No, I'm just kidding. It's a joke. That's a joke, y'all. It's a joke. No. Yeah, that was fixing to go ugly. I am not an educator. Brad's going to be the one that's going to be able to tell the most on this one, I'm sure. But from the way I understand it, that teachers do get a free period during the day. And my question is, if they cannot get the work done during that free period, then we need to be figuring out why they have so much paperwork that they can't get it done. That needs to go, first off, to the superintendent, and then from there, just need to figure out how we can assist them in getting the work done in that free period or that time that they have allotted without taking away their, quote, free time.
All right, Mr. Chapman, thank you. Mr. Bramley?
I think having a healthy work-life balance is important. It doesn't matter your career that you've chosen, or in this case, to be a teacher, you've been called to do. So I think that it's imperative that teachers are able to have a healthy work-life and balance. Most of them, I would venture to say, have children at home and have a family at home, and their time with their children to them is more important than their time with our children. So I think it's showing our teachers the respect that they deserve to be able to do everything that we can so that they get that healthy work-life balance.
Thank you, Mr. Brownlee. Next, Mr. Brennan.
I got to see a little bit of this. In the home, my daughter was a school teacher and she had children, so she would have to grade papers while feeding a baby. So there is, there needed to be something done. Now, I don't know about the law that Mr. Rollins was talking about, but surely the schools, we can provide beautiful buildings and football fields and facilities that we can provide the teachers some assistance if they need that assistance, whether it's a free period or another person to help them if they're grading papers. Technology's come a long way. Surely we can take some kind of load off of them. I don't know what that answer is, but like Mr. Groundman said, they definitely deserve to have that time. We need to be respectful of that time.
Mr. Green, thank you. Mr. Johnson.
Yes, there is a law. You can't take away time. They have to have an unencumbered time, which is great. There are meetings. I think the biggest thing is don't have meetings that could have been an email. I think we've all, at some point in time, had a meeting with someone and you're like, you could have just told me that over the phone. You could have just sent me an email. I think it's just, just a respect thing and being able to give teachers back that time without taking it for frivolous things. So, and there are some subjects that are a little, it's I won't say easier, but there's less paperwork involved. And I'm a PE teacher, so I don't have a lot of paperwork. But there are times when I do have to take stuff home because I teach comprehensive health to kids. So I mean, there's stuff I have to take home, and it is what you do sometimes. But I think again, respecting free time during the day, planning period, before school, after school, that kind of stuff, minimizing duty schedules for teachers so that they can focus on being a teacher, because teachers don't go to school to babysit or to stay after school or to be on duty, because when you're in education classes in college, they're teaching you to be a teacher. And nobody ever tells you, oh yeah, you got to have duty in the morning and you got to have duty in the afternoon, and we're going to have a meeting in the middle of the day as well. And that's going to happen 3 out of the 5 days during the week. So again, just respecting time. That's the biggest thing.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Okay. These next 2 questions were sent in by the members of the audience. This first one, on August 11th, 2025, the Spartanburg School District 1 Board of Trustees unanimously approved holding a $140 million bond referendum on November 4th, 2025, to fund several construction projects in the district. What's your stance on this ballot measure?
Anyone?
I'm going to start with you because you were the last person to speak. Go ahead, I'm going to start with you.
It's needed. You cannot continue to stay in old buildings, although repurposing old buildings, that's a great idea. Don't just knock them down and haul them to the landfill. Repurpose them. But as any of you probably know, there's a lot of old buildings that kids are still in being educated. And it's been that way. I mean, some of them are well past their expiration date. They've been fixed and upkept, absolutely. But you got to build new buildings. You got to have new places to educate children. I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing for the district. It is growing. I was living in the district. I remember walking through Landrum High School when they were still laying bricks. And my wife said, that's going to be my room right there. And when I can get back into school, it's fun to walk by that room and say, hey, I remember before that door was there. I remember before that roof was there. So it's a good thing for the district. Absolutely.
Okay, Mr. Johnson, thank you. Mr. Rollins.
Yes, ma'am. Well, and I was fortunate enough to get on the school board just as we were developing plans and going forward with the 2 new high schools. And like I say, it's hard to believe it's been 20 years, and those 2 high schools still look new, and they've been such a great service for our communities. And now it's hard to believe that it's been 20 years since we've had a building program that involved replacing the building. So we're looking at hopefully this $140 million that we could replace the two oldest schools in our district, which is currently the Mabry Middle School, which served as Chapman High School for years, and the O.P. Earl in Landrum. So it's a possibility, the financial folks have looked at this and determined we can do it without raising debt service tax to do it. We're doing it, basically, they say it can be done with the money that we're bringing in now that's going to finish paying off our two high schools. So, like I said, it will be, we owe it to our kids, we owe it to the educators to have facilities that are modernized. And, so it's just, we hope, I'd like to be a part of this future building program. And, I think it could be very successful.
Mr. Rollins, thank you. Mr. Chapman.
1955, first graduating class at Chapman High School, which is Mabry now. My mom was in that class. 30 years later, 1985, is that 30? Yeah. I went to Chapman, y'all. 1985, I graduated from that same school. And then I thought, man, this place is old. 70 years that school has been standing there. It's got a lot of work done to it over the years, but it needs a lot more. Mabry needs a new school. O.P. Earl, exactly the same way. And then we have schools like New Prospect. New Prospect has got to have another or a bigger cafeteria. Kids eating lunch or were eating lunch at 1:30 and going home at 2:30. There's no sense in that. So the funding needs to happen no matter what. The referendum, I think, is a great idea because we need the schools. We need the students to know and feel like we care about them instead of putting them in an old place. Me and Trey were talking just before we started. Right now, just between the two of us, we were talking, there's over 1,000 homes fixing to be built in the Inman area. Where are we going to put them? We've got to have more schools. And new schools is exactly what I think that we need.
Mr. Chapman, thank you. Mr. Brownlee.
To me, it goes without saying, it's for our district to continue to succeed and to compete. We need newer and better facilities. We have two new high schools that are 20 years old. So our newest school is 20 years old, and able to build two new schools in this district and not have to raise taxes is huge. We've got an influx of people coming to District 1 schools every single day. There's new development starting, one right after the other, and several multiple at a time. So to me, it goes without saying, we need the two new schools for our kids. It's not about to look good or anything else. It's for the kids. The kids need a better facility that they can learn in. Technology's advancing faster than anything, and we've got to be able to stay on top of that. And it's hard to rewire and rework 70-year-old buildings to be able to do what these kids need to be able to compete for their future, whether it be college, the workforce, whatever.
Mr. Brownlee, thank you. Mr. Green.
Yes, I think the referendum is a good thing. I think the present board did an outstanding job in getting that worked out and getting that passed. It's going to be exciting, to see that the work happen. My children graduated, the last one graduated 2011 from Chapman High School, so she got to be in the new school, but prior to that, my other three were in the old high school. So, and I always thought our football field could have been better, our building could have been better, our basketball gymnasium could have been better when I was at all these things. So it is an exciting time for District 1 just to see what the building's going to bring. And like I said, I think the present board did a really, really good job in working that out, but where my taxes are not going to go up, y'all's taxes are not going to go up, and we're going to get to spend $140 million on our children. That's a win. That's a win.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Green, thank you. The second question from the audience, and I put everybody back into the, Sarah here is going to help me, she's going to select. District 1 will be holding a community forum regarding this referendum at 6 p.m. on Monday, September 15th at O.P. Earl Elementary, which is at 100 Redland Road in Landrum, South Carolina. Certainly attend. The latest census data shows that South Carolina has experienced the greatest rate of change across the entire United States in the number of Ukrainian speakers and immigrants. That is clearly shown in Spartanburg County, particularly and primarily here in District 1, which density-wise has the most of that around Campobello. As a trustee, what would you do to address the unique learning needs of Ukrainian and Ukrainian American students and other immigrant students who attend the district's public schools to ensure their success? I'm going to go to the mic.
All right, Trey Grimm.
I think this piggybacks the previous question with the 2 new schools. We need the facility to be able to do better for this influx of people that we have that have moved into our communities. Also, it goes back to the recruitment question. We need to be able to recruit teachers that can help, that are bilingual, that can help translate, that can help train the other teachers so that they're able to help these children with the needs that they need that are the same but somewhat different. So to me, we need to do everything that we can to do what's best for the kid.
Thank you, Mr. Graham. Mr. Green.
Yes. As a resident of Inman, I have District 1. I've seen all these people move in and see all these houses. So we definitely need to address that problem. I think our schools and our teachers and our people, our administrators, they're ready for this. So I think that it'll be a good thing. The bilingual and the language communication barrier, I think we can break that down. Children are very resilient, so it is, again, it's an exciting time for our area because we are growing, we are getting bigger, and we have the ability to have District 1 be a great school district in Spartanburg County.
Mr. Green, thank you. Mr. Johnson.
Yeah, children are resilient. I think technology is probably going to be the key. There's translation apps, there's earbuds you can wear and it translates on the fly for people. So if there's that need, obviously technology is going to be there to answer that question, that problem. And there are, I know people, I've worked with people that are bilingual in the Ukrainian language. So there are teachers out there, we talk about recruitment. If that's something you're going to do, obviously there are people out there that are educators that can come in. You can recruit into the district to help with that situation. So, but I think technology would be the lead there. That would be the lead in the way to help with any of those gaps, fill those gaps in between teachers and students.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Mr. Rollins.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I think, historically, we also dealt with this with the Hispanic population. At the time, there was a big influx of Hispanics. So I would just assume that we would be able to do the same thing with, if language is the barrier, I don't think that would be, it will be a struggle to overcome, but I think it's something that we can do, and we'll do whatever we have to for that to happen. We won't let them be slighted by just a few barriers. Thank you.
Mr. Rollins, thank you. And Mr. Chapman.
I think that Brad's been looking at my notes. Because
We don't live that far apart.
you're right, we're almost neighbors. Because my thoughts were exactly the same thing. With the technology that we have now should make it a little easier. But the main thing is, as Trey had said at the beginning here, is recruitment. We have to recruit the right teachers that can speak the language and can help with the students, because there is a large amount of them moving in. So I think the technology and the recruitment are going to be their two biggest savers for this.
Okay, Mr. Chapman, thank you. Okay, I do believe that we have a question or two from the floor. Do we have time for that? Do we have time for that? Okay, so the question from the floor, from the audience here. With the recent cuts to the mental health budget, our schools are now providing fewer on-campus services for both student and staff. We know that students are facing increased anxiety, depression, and behavioral challenges, and teachers are under so much stress than ever before. This question is two parts, and I'll repeat it as you need to hear it. What is the board's plan to fill in the gaps to support so that our students' mental health needs are still met and our teachers aren't left to handle these challenges alone? And the second part is, will you commit to transparent communication about these decisions and involve parents, teachers, and community partners to find solutions? So the first part of the question, what is the board's plan to fill in the gaps to support so our students' mental health needs are met and our teachers are not left to handle these challenges alone? Trey, I'm going to put your name back into, and we're going to pick.
Pick Trey. Trey.
Did you?
It's transparent.
Thank you. You got it. That gives me a little while to think here.
100%, we need to do all that we can for the mental health of the students and the teachers. That is the only reason that we should even be running for this position, is for the students and the teachers. 50% of the reason that we're running, 50% of the people that we're running for can't vote for any of us. So it's our job to make sure that we're doing what's right for those kids. To me, whatever means are necessary. I mean, there's definitely a mental health issue that is plaguing our society at this point. And we should do all that we can to protect the kids. The teachers are on the front lines having to deal with it also. So we should be doing everything that we can to help them and give them all of the resources that they need to also help with this. What's the second part?
The second part is, will you commit to transparent communication about these decisions and involve parents, teachers, and the communities in finding solutions?
I mean, yeah, I think we're a community. We're not here to be on a board and always be behind closed doors, and I mean, we're here for y'all. So you should be involved in what's going on. As the old saying is, it takes a village. So we are the village. So the 5 of us, 7 of us that are running, and the other people that are already on the board, we don't know it all. We're not in the school systems every day. We don't see what's going on every day. So absolutely, communication's key. That's the only way to have success.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Bramley. The next person?
We're good, yeah. Whoever's, this will be the last
Just that
question.
last- Okay, so the last person, the next person, I should say, David Green.
Okay, so yes, I agree with what Mr. Brown has said. Definitely communication and support, show the support to the teachers. Mental health is a huge problem that can be addressed in a lot of, professional ways with counselors and other things like that. But just communicating to the parents, letting them know that, and letting the teachers know that as a board, we're here to support them. They're going to know more about the best way to approach something that I would. And I definitely want to support them when they come to me with that idea, if I, have the chance, to help them.
And with that, I'm just reiterating, will you commit to transparent communication about their decisions and involving parents, teachers, and the community for a solution?
Again, yes, the parent involvement, and Trey said it best, it takes a village. We all have to be a part of this problem. We all have to work together and come to the solution. I don't know what that solution is. I don't know that any one person would know what that solution is. But I've saw this community grow and change and adapt really, really well in the last 25 years. So whatever the Lord has for us in the next 25, I'm sure that we can overcome it and accomplish what we need to accomplish.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Green. I picked from Mark again. Mr. Rollins.
Yes, ma'am.
Same question. What is the board's plan to fill the gap in support so that students' mental health needs are met and our teachers aren't left to handle the challenges alone?
Okay. Thank you. I'm not aware of any cuts. We've added counselors, but we have to meet the children where they are. And we'll do what we can. We'll do more if needed. But it won't be overlooked. The challenge will be met. And of course, there'll be transparency in dealing with that.
Thank you. Mr. Chapman?
Whatever it to help them out is what the school board needs to do. It's what the district needs to do, because they are the next generation of leaders and of community members. And we need to be sure that they know that we're here, we love them, and whatever it takes to get them the help, if it's hiring more social workers or hiring more counselors or whatever, we need to do that. And as far as the transparency, absolutely.
Thank you, Mr. Chapman. And last, Mr. Johnson.
Yeah, I think, like I say, I'm not in this school district, I don't work in the school district, but I know we have a full-time mental health counselor. We have counselors that are talking to students. So I think that's the big thing. You have it available, you have it there. Was part of that question teachers as well as students? So, I mean, again, I think through the insurance, there's mental health counseling that you can get through your insurance as well. That's there. Talk about it, put it out there, take the stigma off of it. Know that it's okay to seek help. That thing, transparency, absolutely. And talk about, I'm ready to talk with anybody. That's fine. But it's a community, and that's the thing that has driven the mental health crisis we're in. Was quarantine, people were by themselves, they weren't in a community, and they lost that face-to-face kind of conversation. And being part of the community, being able to look at people and talk to them and have a conversation means a lot. It means a lot. So that's what we need to do.
And the transparency part of it?
Absolutely, yeah.
So those are all the questions that we have that were submitted. Are there any other questions from the floor? Any other questions from the audience? Yes, ma'am.
I have a quick question. I am a member of the League of Women Voters, a nonpartisan group, and we are always trying to get more people out to vote, and some of the reasons people don't vote, one is they don't know anything about the people running. We're here to give you free PR. And I wonder if you would commit to just answering the questions on the vote411.org website that are related to the position you're running for. There are 3 or 4 questions, and if you answer those, they aren't going to be edited, but it would give you a chance to get what you believe is a good answer to those questions. And I wonder if you commit to responding when you're asked to put your info into that website, because a lot of people look to that website for information about y'all.
I saw that email, and I hadn't got a chance to answer it, but yes, it's in my email. Because I clicked on it, and I knew I didn't have time to do it. My question about that is, if I'm putting my personal email address, is anybody going to see my personal email address? I don't really want to put my personal email out there.
You put in the info that you want to be available to people.
Okay.
They have your email because that's the way they got
Right.
the info to you.
All right.
But they just want to know your info. And you can even maybe in some cases slide in how you want to be addressed.
Sure.
I think we have to, I think the library people are
They're kicking us out.
to
Yeah, if you
move
want,
on.
if you have a
But,
question, just definitely step out in the hall.
yeah, I think you could probably ask them individually or just because I saw the lady come
Yeah, we have
up
to
to
clean
her,
up this
she's
area
not
out here.
happy.
Just say it.
Okay.
But thank y'all so much.
She saved us.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody.
We can't do it in here, but we'll meet outside. You just meet us out there and we'll all answer you.
Yes, great job.
Just a few things to note.